Why don't you introduce yourself and your car to the viewers?
My name's Eric. This is my 1997 BMW M3. Had it for a few years now. It was in a lot worse shape before getting it until today. It's got a lot of battle scars on it, but happy to talk about it.
Why don't you talk about why you chose the E36 M3 and then also just your story with purchasing it and obtaining it?
So why I chose it. I had one in high school at a Boston Green four-door sedan that I didn't really appreciate. I crashed it.
Oh, man.
Years later, I wanted something rear-wheel drive that I can, enjoy and have fun with. Maybe take it to the track once a month or something. I sold my R53 Mini, and then I found this on the marketplace. It was in really rough shape, but clean title. It was missing a lot of interior pieces. At one point in its life, it had a front-end collision.
Oh, wow.
So, towed this car back, and funny enough, I towed it to the shop over there that we're at. They took the timing chain cover off, and the plastic guides fell apart. So then that just kind of initiated a full 2-year-long project.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was about 2 years to get it to this point.
Yeah.
All right.
After discovering the timing chain plastic guides falling apart in my friend's hand, we decided to just pull the motor out, do a full rebuild. It was really a stock SV2 in the end. We did all the bearings, like piston rings, decked the head. Bolt-on stuff really, for the most part, just intake, catless exhausts, M50 intake manifold, bigger MAF, tune, bigger injectors, standard like E36 SV2 stuff. But really refreshing the whole cooling system. So all the hoses were replaced, bigger radiator, deleted the clutch fan, thermostat, water pump, the high flow Stewart water pump. Yeah, that's pretty much it for like the standard E36 stuff. Front end here, souvenir front bumper. So it's not our OEM front bumper. Turner Motorsport splitter with the skid plate underneath. Kind of going around the car here too. Suspension, it's running BC coilovers with Swift springs. They're okay. I'm still learning how to drive the car, to be honest. So in terms of the wheels, BBS E37 wheels, Coupe V730 tires. Brake setup as well. E36 M3 CSL front brakes from ECS with the adapter. Running Ray Bestis pads. They're aggressive street pad, right? Brake lines, all that stuff is all done, right? High temp fluid. What else can we go over? Interior here, if you want to take a look. OMP M-Rain pattern seats from Condor. Renowned steering wheel. Also to Coolerworks shifter assembly. Of the hard motorsport interior delete. So passenger airbag, floor mats, the door cards, the rear seat panels. Also too, the cage, I got it from Bayside Fabrication. It's chromoly, so it's a little lighter than their standard cage. They do a lot of stuff for BMW and Porsche guys, so did that. Talking about the transmission too, did the ZFD tent, stronger clutch, 14-pound flywheel. Yeah, this car's gone through front to back. Every maintenance wear item was replaced. Brake master cylinder, slave cylinder, anything that was connected to that. I mean, it's been a lot. So going to the back here, the Turner Motorsport carbon fiber wing, 3-piece modular one with the gurney flap here as well. Had to source some OEM stuff too, like the OEM taillights. I had some car when I got it had some cheap like Amazon clear tails on it.
Plate.
There you go too. Yeah. But really, from front to back, just everything was completely done. Control arms, suspension work. I have the entire catalog from Garagistic for their polyurethane mounts, motor mounts, transmission mounts, all the bushings front to back. When we had the car apart, we took out the front and rear subframes, reinforced both of those as well. All these shock and strut mount points were reinforced as well. This car was basically taken down to the shell and just really kind of sorted out mechanically front to back. So nothing really special, like I said. M50 manifolds, just an intake here from Ray Strutman, white line strut bar for the visual stuff. I deleted all the emissions stuff here. So there's no evap system or anything. We did the entire cooling system here. Rebuilt the vanos. A lot of the stuff was internally. Was done internally. So, like, you know, decked the head.
A lot of the work is underneath all of this. It's not going to be visually like showing.
Yeah. Also,
yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Painted the engine block. Lightweight pulleys. I kept the AC. Need that. So
needed in California.
Yeah.
Would you like to shout out the shop who is doing most of the work, or if all of it?
Yeah. So 2 people. My guy Pat. So he's no longer at Rad Rides over there.
Yeah.
So he did a majority, pretty much the engine build for me.
Okay.
So amazing work. You know, hope he's doing well, and I think he's in NorCal now.
Okay.
Also Roy. He kind of took over the helm on the car, so his shop is actually next door over there as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's really super meticulous. You know, I trust him with everything with all my cars, so just kind of, you know, took the helm on it and did a lot of the other work to it. So
the combined efforts of those two has created this beauty.
Yeah.
So shout out to them.
Yeah.
Why don't you give some advice for anyone who potentially wants an E36 M3?
First off, I think it depends on what you want to do with the car. For me, I wasn't looking for like a Conqueror style, like super clean car. I kind of wanted to have something that I can just, you know, drive like hard and just enjoy. Really depends on what you want initially. Secondly, there's a lot of things that you can't really check with a PPI, so just be prepared to have a fund to spend on the car. You know, like I think for this car specifically, when we finding out the timing chain guide just fell apart.
Yeah.
You know, like at that point, really just decided to redo the entire thing. So, but yeah, I would, aside from the normal car buying stuff, you know, definitely want to make sure the car hasn't been in any serious accidents or, you know, no rust, all that stuff, right? So just make sure, you know what you're getting yourself into. Yeah, the car was in rough shape, as you can probably see in the video. Like that front fender is not perfect, right? There's some dings and dents all around the car. So I had a lot of PDR work done. The wrap was done by 2 people. So for some of the touch-up work was done by Everlasting Wraps. Jose, he did a great job. The other gentleman, Alvin, he also pretty much did most of the body work, sanding it down, right? And then like the mirrors and the rest of the car. So also too, redid all the seals and everything on the car. So like all these like door seals and stuff had to be replaced, right? The windshield seals, all that stuff is kind of hard to source new, but they're still available. Also too, I should mention as well, old car stuff, you know, a lot of the OEM parts might not be available. So just be prepared for either spending a lot of money on that or, you know, trying to source. Take your time to source.
Right. Why don't you tell us some pros and cons about the E36 M3?
I really love the way that the car drives, like the characteristics of it. You know, being rear-wheel drive. You know, not a lot of power, but enough power. You know, out of the S52. Aftermarket support is massive, so you can pretty much get anything you want for this car. Cons, I would say, I think at this point in time, because it's an older car. If you're, you know, looking to keep the car factory clean and stock, there's a lot of parts that are no longer available. Yeah, I mean, aside from that, I mean, I love this platform. You know, it's hard to, I'm not sure why you wouldn't like it. I mean, maybe compared to like a Miata, you know, parts are more expensive, right? For example, but I love this car, and it would be hard for me to part with it, so.
I mean, you gotta pay to play at that point, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some volume. It's been some time since I was in the E36 M3. This one's
yeah, so that's a door pull. Yeah, it's got the
cup holder.
Got a cup holder there. Still trying to make it useful.
But yeah, we're gonna do some pulls and just get an overall feel for the car. I really like old cars because they're more raw feeling, like everything in here is shaking, so I kind of like that. It's very cool.
It's pretty light, I think that's why.
Yeah.
I mean, I kept the AC, but a lot of the panels were taken out.
Yeah.
You know, all the sap venting I took out.
Dude, yeah, this feels really, really nice. It's like visceral.
Yeah, it's very visceral, which, you know, like a lot of new cars, like,
they lose that raw feeling.
Yeah. And this car is still somewhat streetable, so, you know. But yeah, every time I drive this car, it's always an experience, right?
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. I wouldn't change it, quite honestly.
I don't think you should.
I mean, I might in the future get like a stock M3 just to have along with it, you know?
Like a stock E36 M3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In the future.
So this is your favorite gen of M3, or?
I kind of grew up with this generation.
Okay.
You know, the E36 and the E46 were kind of like my time, so.
What would you say is your favorite M3 generation?
That's a good question. I'd say probably this one or the E46.
Okay, so either of those two?
Either of those two, just because, you know, they didn't get, you know, they're still naturally aspirated.
Yeah.
Right? Not too many electronics.
Yep.
Right? I think the E90 is really the last of that.
For sure.
You know? Not really a fan of the newer ones like the F series or
the G.
Then again, you know, it's just my personal preference, you know? Like I've always loved older cars, like, you know, like anything from like air-cooled Porsches to, you know, old Hondas. Yeah, I'm pretty open-minded.
Nice.
So,